2019 Burlsworth Trophy. Let's give a warm welcome to our finalists, and we'll begin with our first finalist from the University of California, safety, kick returner, Ashton Davis. From the University of Georgia, kicker Rodrigo Blankenship. And from Michigan State University, defensive end Kenny Willikus. Congratulations to all of you. We are honored by your presence today, and we look forward to hearing from all of you in just a little bit. This is a special day. This is the 10th anniversary of the Burlsworth Trophy, and for us to have an opportunity to be here today is really a testament to all the hard work that so many have put in. It's also a testament to the Rotary Club of Springdale and all that they have done to make this day so special as we celebrate the life and the legacy of Brandon Burlsworth. And at this time, I'd like to introduce, and I'd like you to welcome to the podium, the president of the Rotary Club of Springdale, Mr. Heath Ward.
I'd also like to thank Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorback, for his help in today's program. On behalf of the Springdale Rotary Club, I welcome my fellow Rotarians, guests, and finalists to this 10th annual Burlsworth event. Springdale Rotary has been involved with this event since its inception, and we are very proud of the relationship we have with the Burlsworth Foundation. Rotary International started in 1905 with 4 men in Chicago. Today, we are 1.2 million members in 200 countries. 114 years later, we're still doing the very same things, trying to make people's lives just a little bit better. Because of Rotary International, children are vaccinated against polio. Adults and children learn how to read. Women are given the means to support themselves in a dignified manner. Schools have access to clean water, and we study ways to prevent child mortality. We do several things internationally, but we also act locally. The Springdale Rotary Club gives hundreds of wheelchairs to people wherever the need may be. We support polio eradication through programs and events like Happy Hour Party to End Polio, that's actually happening next week. Giving books to every third grader in our school system for their home library, providing scholarships, both traditional and vocational, and raising tens of thousands of dollars for our local charitable trusts for many other projects through our Pig Trail Mud Run. Rotary's motto is service above self. The Burlsworth Foundation shares that spirit through their programs such as Eyes of a Champion, helping children get the vision, care, and assistance they need to succeed. Service above self also represents the spirit of Brandon's Burlsworth's character and leadership. So with that, I thank you for coming, and I'd like to introduce someone to say our prayer who had a huge impact on young Brandon Burlsworth. Help us welcome Brandon's youth minister, Mr. Rick Watts. Rick.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, I thank you that some 30 years ago you allowed me to come into the lives of this beautiful family, the Burlsworth family. And God, to see the walk-on spirit that rules and reigns in their lives. And to see that no matter the obstacles that are put before them, they continue to walk on because they're not walking alone. They're walking with you. And so, Father, I ask you to bless this event, to bless each one that's here this morning, to bless their families, and especially these young men and their families. And Father, if you could just do something special for me today. If you just reach over and grab Bran and hug his neck and squeeze him real hard for me. And also for Miss Donna Hamilton that just came to see you this week. We thank you for it in Jesus' name. We'll walk on and live on because of you. Amen.
Thank you, Rick. At this time, please enjoy your lunch, and we are going to resume the program in just a bit. Again, thank you for being here today, and we'll resume in just a few moments. Resume our program at this time. Today we honor and recognize what is good about college sports, the determination, the perseverance demonstrated by the young men before you today. It's a lesson for all of us, regardless of our age. Brandon taught us how to get everything out of God's gifts. And today we have an opportunity to honor three finalists who have most definitely done things the Burls way, as we say. We've got several people that we need to recognize as we begin our program today. And I would like to recognize our sponsors by name, and if you would hold your applause until the end, please. We've got several that have made this day possible, and we appreciate all of them. The Springdale Chamber of Commerce, the Holiday Inn of Springdale, Crane Automotive Group, Lance and Judy McReynolds, Star Mechanical, Massage Envy, Mitchell Communications, McGriff Insurance Services, John and Mary Lee Broadbeck, Avad 3, Pilgrim's Pride, Farm Bureau Insurance, Mascot Mania, University of Arkansas Athletics, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, and Arvest Bank. If you would help me recognize them for their sponsorship of our program today. We want to recognize our generous table sponsors and our program advertisers. And if the members of our Rotary Board and the members of the Burlsworth Trophy Committee, if you could stand, we would like to recognize you for your outstanding work. The Rotary Board members and the Burlsworth Trophy Committee members, if you would stand and be recognized. Thank you for what you do to make today so special. I'd like to introduce our head table. To my far left, Rick Schaefer, sports radio personality. That's what it says right here. Former Director of Communications for the University of Arkansas, current Director of Communications for the Springdale school system. You've met our three finalists, and you're going to hear from them some more in just a few moments. To my immediate left is Marty Burlsworth, Brandon's brother, the founder and CEO of the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation. To my far right, you heard from Heath Ward a few moments ago. Our meal was blessed by Rick Watts, and Sean Bedford's here as well, the inaugural winner of the Burlsworth Trophy, and we're going to have the opportunity to hear from him in just a few minutes as well. We've got several honored guests that I'd like to recognize at this time. In fact, I'd like to recognize the guests of our finalists, if I might. Ashton Davis's guests, if you'll stand to be recognized, please. His father, Sean Davis, his mother, Christine Cohen, and his position coach at the University of California, Gerald Alexander, are all here today. If you would stand and let us welcome you. Welcome to Arkansas. We're glad that you're here. Rodrigo Blankenship's guests. His mother, Isabel Blankenship. The University of Georgia Associate SID Leland Barrow is here today. Carly Smith is here. She's a videographer. You may see her from time to time roaming around the room. If all of you would stand and be recognized, we certainly appreciate you being here today as well. Kenny Willikus has guests as well. His grandparents are here. Ken and Mary Wiersma are here. The head coach of Michigan State University, Mark D'Antonio, is here today. Welcome, Coach. The Associate Athletic Director, Zach Fisher, and their Athletic Director, Ben Flager, are here today. Welcome to all of you. We're happy that all of you are with us in Arkansas today. We have a very distinguished selection committee, and some of them are here with us today, and we'd like for you to stand and be recognized, please, as I read your name. Coach Ken Hatfield, Coach Tommy Tice, and Sean Bedford in his first year on the selection committee. All of them are in attendance today. If you would stand and be recognized, please. We have some very special guests who are here today, a very special lady. We're so glad she's here. If you would recognize, please, Mrs. Barbara Burlsworth. Barbara, if you would stand and be recognized, please. Marty's wife, Vicki, is here today, the executive director of the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation. Vicki, you do so much. If you would stand and allow us to recognize you, please. Thank you, Vicki. Joe Don and Aaron Burlsworth are here, sons of Marty and Vicki. Gentlemen, if you'd stand and be recognized. There's another son, Brady, whose wife Kelly was not able to be with us today, but he's with his daughter Blake, from what I understand. Is Brady here? Yeah, Brady, welcome. Now, to my right, you see this beautiful piece of art, the Burlsworth Trophy. It is truly one of the most impressive trophies in college football. And I would like you to recognize the person who created this wonderful piece. He's with us today, Mr. Raymond Gibby. Raymond, if you would stand and be recognized, please. Raymond's right over here to my right. Raymond, thank you. Now, although he was not able to be with us today, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Brian Reindl. He's the producer of the movie Greater, and he's the mastermind behind the Burlsworth Trophy. So much of what we do today and so much of what you have seen regarding the life and the legacy of Brandon has been made available through Brian's work. There was another exciting event that happened for the foundation in August. ESPN came to Harrison, and they were there to do a feature on Brandon. And they did a feature on the Burlsworth Trophy, and it aired on game day. Perhaps some of you saw it on the opening week of the college football season. It hit home with a lot of people, and I think that would be an understatement. It had over 5 million views online. It is powerful, and it is moving, and it is part of our program today, if you would turn your attention to the video board.
Hey! All of us feel that way about those moments where the walk-ons are given scholarships, but it's not always a situation where it's just an attaboy for somebody who works really hard. Sometimes you get the Hollywood ending. The walk-on ends up becoming the star. And so it was for a player at Arkansas from no scholarship to having his number 77 retired. Even more, Tom Rinaldi tells us, a quarter century later, Brandon Burlsworth connects to everyone who's ever been told, you're not good enough.
Well, man, I want to be the first person to tell you that you're on scholarship.
Surprise presentations.
In front of his parents, grandfather, you're on scholarship.
Team celebrations. Roaring ovations. Those stirring moments and rousing stories of a walk-on going on scholarship.
You're on full scholarship.
But there's one story every walk-on should really know.
It's the story of the underdog, because everybody in some aspect of their life thinks that they're the walk-on.
Growing up in Arkansas, Brandon Burlsworth's desire to play football was clear. His talent wasn't.
Wasn't a whole lot of athletic ability. Not a great athlete.
He was slow, he was soft. We didn't think he'd ever play.
As a heavy, slow lineman at Harrison High School, Burlsworth barely played as a sophomore. He didn't start till he was a junior. As a senior, even after working himself into an all-state player, college programs weren't overly interested.
How many offers did he have?
He had 2, Division II at the time, both.
He says, I want to be a Razorback, and I'm going to be a Razorback. He said, if I have to walk on, that's what I want to do.
He arrived in Fayetteville in 1994, a 6'3" walk-on, and the wrong kind of big.
It was just fat. Okay, there was no muscle.
He went to the weight room. He was red-shirted, made him lose down to about 260. After that, he just took off.
Boom. There you go.
After adding more than 50 pounds of muscle, working his way up the depth chart to earn playing time, Before his sophomore season, Burlsworth told his family the news.
He had done everything they'd asked of him and more. They put him on scholarship.
He was better than some of the players that we had on scholarship. He was contributing. He earned it.
That's a kind of a degrading word, walk on, because it meant that he wasn't good enough. He walked on to show them that he was good enough.
With his signature glasses and heaping shoulder pads, Burlsworth's ascent began. Razorback starter as a sophomore, all SEC as a junior, and as a senior on a top 20 Arkansas team in 1998, All-American.
Did I ever think he would be the kind of football player he was at Arkansas? Not till I knew the man.
After running a 4.88 40 in the Combine, 5 years after he walked on at Arkansas, the NFL called his name.
Pick 63, Indianapolis takes Brandon Burlsworth, the guard from Arkansas.
He was a first-round player in our estimation. Offensive linemen generally tend to fall through the draft. We're happy to have him.
It's been a big transition, you know. There's a lot of new parts of the new offense, you know, you got to learn. It's been a real learning process, but I think I'm catching on more as each day goes by.
11 days after the draft, Burlsworth was driving back home from Fayetteville to Harrison along Route 412 to pick up his mother and take her to church. He was late.
And I seen the policeman pull up, and Brandon wasn't home yet. I remember running out and saying, "Brandon, Brandon," and them shaking their head.
The Brandon Burlsworth story was unfolding like a fairy tale. But yesterday afternoon, Burlsworth died in an auto accident. Police say Burlsworth's Subaru crossed the center line and was hit by a semi.
Brandon Burlsworth was 20 minutes from home. He was 22 years old.
It was just seemed unfair for a guy to do everything he had done the hard way and made it to the highest level, and then you don't get to play.
Since 2010, the Burlsworth Trophy has been awarded to the nation's most outstanding college football player who started his career as a walk-on. You know the winners.
The winner of the 2018 Burlsworth Trophy, Hunter Renfro.
And they know the story of a walk-on who lives on.
Every year at the ceremony, it's just cool because I hear Brandon's story over and over again. That same determination, that same work ethic, and they won't take no for an answer. That's the Burl's way, earning it.
Tom Rinaldi with that story. The Burlsworth Foundation, among its initiatives, they provide eyeglasses and eye exams to underprivileged children in tribute to Brandon's signature look of wearing those glasses, and they continue their wonderful work. It's really inspirational to walk-ons. We continue to see these stories. We saw another walk-on story.
Wow, what an incredible piece of video. Before I bring Marty to the podium, I want to say I wish all of you could see the commitment and the work that Marty and Vicki put into this foundation. It has become their life's work. They live it every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I promise you, mentally, they never take a day off from this foundation. It is a labor of love. And there are so many people in our state, across our region, and in our country who have been affected positively by Marty and Vicki's work. And I'd like you to welcome to the podium the founder, the executive director of the Burlsworth Foundation, Marty Burlsworth.
Thank you, Chuck. I want to thank you for being here with us today, everyone here. I know that there are many of you here in the room with us today that have never missed a Burlsworth Trophy ceremony, and we sincerely thank you for your support. I also want to welcome all those that are watching on the live stream. Those watching from the University of California, from the University of Georgia, and from Michigan State University, welcome. You have some tremendous young men here that I know the universities you're very proud of, and we are too. College football has many great awards. The Outland Trophy, the Doak Walker Award, the Heisman, and Arkansas's own Broyles Award. These prestigious awards are all members of the National College Football Awards Association. And now, in its 10th year, the Burlsworth Trophy has been voted in as the newest member of this esteemed group, the best of the best. The Burlsworth Trophy stands for all that is good in college football. It recognizes the hard work, the dedication, and the struggles that only a walk-on would know about. It's about the journey. A new record was set this year with 83 players being nominated for the Burlsworth Trophy. 83. What an incredible accomplishment it is to be named a finalist, to be in this room, the final three. A great organization, such as the Brandon Burlsworth Foundation, that we're very proud of, requires a great board. The Brandon Burlsworth Foundation has a tremendous group of board members that I would like to recognize. And board members, I would like to ask that you stand when your name is called. And if you would, please hold your applause until all are introduced. Coach Tommy Tice, Rick Barrows, Anita Cabe, Chuck Barrett, Judy McReynolds, David Moore, Kevin Traynor, Vicki Burlsworth, Mike McFarland, Charlene Reed, Dr. Matt Jones, Nathan Waldrop, Lindy Lindsay. Let's give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you. The Brandon Burlsworth football camps are held each summer. Former Razorback players volunteer their time to make these camps so special. And today we have a great group of these Razorbacks with us. Gentlemen, please stand and be recognized. We have a great program for you today, and you're truly going to enjoy what's ahead. The Burlsworth Trophy is a special award. It's for special people who dared to dream and to put in the work to make those dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Before we meet our finalists, I'd like to remind you of the 2019 Burlsworth Trophy semifinalists, and if you'll hold your applause to the end of the list, please. Charlotte defensive end Alex Highsmith, UCLA running back Joshua Kelly, Memphis tight end Joey Magnifico, Minnesota defensive lineman Sam Renner, Penn State linebacker Jan Johnson, San Jose quarterback Josh Love, and Washington defensive back Miles Bryant. If you would give a round of applause to our 2019 semifinalists. Over the last 10 years, the Burlsworth Trophy has had some outstanding finalists and winners, and last year was no exception. Clemson's Hunter Renfrow won the award a year ago. And this past October, Marty and Vicky were part of a pregame ceremony at Clemson that celebrated Hunter as the 2018 Burlsworth Trophy winner. 80,000 people were there. It was quite a scene in Memorial Stadium. And let's take a look on the video board.
2018 Burlsworth Trophy to Hunter Renfrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the most decorated walk-on in Clemson history. Give it up for Hunter Renfrow.
More recognition for the trophy, and obviously Hunter was very happy to have it, and we thank Clemson for the ceremony and the recognition of him. We are very fortunate every year. This is one of my favorite things about the trophy presentation every year. We're always fortunate to have the inaugural winner of the Burlsworth Trophy back with us. I can tell you, he loves coming back. He loves being with the people that he's grown close to in Northwest Arkansas. If you will help me welcome again the 2010 winner, the inaugural winner of the Burlsworth Trophy, Sean Bedford.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And first, I'd like to congratulate Hunter on somehow surpassing my record for NFL touchdown catches. For those of you who don't know, I was an offensive lineman, so it wasn't a high bar to clear, but hats off to him. Now, it is my honor today to welcome three extraordinary young men to this very special fraternity. And I call it that because while at the end of this ceremony, only one of you is going to be walking away with this trophy, all three of you have already done tremendous things and have found your place amongst a group of elite student athletes who have succeeded and prevailed despite the odds. Now, every one of you has a remarkable story that resonates with everyone in this room. And as you heard Vicky say in that video, everyone kind of sees themselves as a walk-on, as that long shot underdog who didn't quite get the shot they deserved. And that's one of the reasons you're so easy to root for, because everyone can see themselves in you. But you know what's different about you guys, and the reason you're here today, is you went out and did it. You refused to accept no for an answer. You wouldn't take anything less than your dreams. And I cannot commend you strongly enough for that. You know, people, especially in football, place such an emphasis on measurements and metrics. And it takes me back to my high school football days when I was trying to convince college coaches I was actually 6'2" instead of 6'1½". But time after time I was told, well, you're too small, you're too slow, your stats don't quite justify us handing out a valuable scholarship to you. And I imagine each one of you went through something similar to that. But you know what those metrics can't measure? They can't tell you that the bespectacled kicker is going to have ice water in his veins when he's lining up for that game-winning field goal to send his team to the national championship game. They can't tell you if an unknown linebacker is going to be selfless enough to switch positions 3 times and become an All-American in the process. They can't tell you, or they can't measure that undersized track star's willingness to outwork it and outsmart everyone on the field. And they can't measure the love, support, and dedication of your family, friends, and coaches who helped you get to this point. So I offer my congratulations to each of you and to your families for the incredible things that you've already done and for reminding us that at the end of the day, it's not what those metrics say, or how tall you are, or how big you are, what those metrics say you're worth. It's what you do with your talents that ultimately defines your legacy. And each of you has written an incredible story that deserves to be mentioned among the best in college football. So my hat is off to you for that. But I'm not just here to congratulate you. I'm also here to challenge you. And I know that not one of these 3 young men has ever turned away from a challenge. Now, during your brief time here, I'm sure each of you has learned that Brandon Burlsworth was a very special person. He was a person who left an impact not only on his family and teammates, but on this entire community. He was not just a great player who overcame the odds, he was a leader by example to his teammates, a groundbreaking student, a faithful servant of God, and an inspiration to an entire state. But tragically, Brandon didn't get the opportunity to see just how far his talents could take him and how many lives he could change for the better. By being here today, whether you realize it or not, you've accepted your role as part of Brandon's legacy. And I challenge each of you to do your best to carry on that legacy in all that you do in your life. Because for the rest of your life, you will be known as a Burlsworth Trophy finalist, as one of the finest college football players in America who began his career as a walk-on. But that honor comes with the responsibility to carry the torch for Brandon. So carry it high and carry it proudly for everyone to see. Because if your stories have taught us anything so far, it's that there's nothing you can't do. Now go out and make the world a better place by doing things the way you already are, by doing things the way you already have, the hard way, the right way, the Burls way. So Ashton, Kenny, and Rodrigo, on behalf of the Brotherhood of Walk-Ons everywhere, good luck, God bless, and congratulations on your accomplishments. We can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you, Sean. Terrific as always. Well, it's time now to meet the finalists for the 2019 Burlsworth Trophy. If you would turn your attention to the video board again, please.
In this age of specialization, you don't see many major college athletes achieve the elite level in two sports. Those that know Ashton Davis aren't surprised that he excels on both the track and the football field.
He's just a freak of nature. He's kind of good at everything he does. He's one of those crazy kids. It's just like, wow, you could play basketball. Then you could play football too. Wow, you could do a triple backflip off a cliff in the water. So just everything he does, he's super competitive and wants to be good at. So he just carries out to football with him.
His teammates say you won't find a more fierce competitor.
On the field or everything in life, he's trying to be the best at it. Whether it's playing video games, trying to see who could finish a workout first or be there last. He's just super competitive.
Fires a fastball over the middle and it's intercepted. Ashton Davis.
He came in from track, I'm thinking he's just a guy that's just trying to try out football, just walk onto the team. So I didn't really know much about him. And then, like Elijah said, just seeing him progress and really just dial in and focus in. Because he's an athlete, he's a freak of nature, like Elijah said. And he just dialed in and, took those steps to be great.
An all Pac-12 hurdler, Ashton was a special team star as a redshirt freshman. As a sophomore, he made 3 starts, and head coach Justin Wilcox said the decision to put him on scholarship was an easy one.
I was telling somebody, it wasn't like, the coaches had some aha moment or something we really spotted. I mean, it was so apparent because of his ability and his coachability and work ethic. Like it was a no-brainer. So it was very easy for us, and he absolutely earned it,
He displayed all his freakish talents as a junior, earning first-team All-Pac-12 honors as a safety and made second-team as a kick returner.
There's a lot of guys that are enjoyable to coach, but sometimes there's a little bit of maintenance and whatever it might be, practice or meetings or off the field, and then there's some guys who are a little maintenance, and then there's some guys who have no maintenance, and then there's Ashton Davis, which is a totally different level of accountability, work ethic, toughness, competitiveness, drive, talent. It's just been a unique experience.
He followed up his junior season with another outstanding year. His position coach calls him Thursday because that's day 1 of the NFL draft. Please welcome Burlsworth Trophy finalist, California defensive back, Ashton Davis.
Well, we're glad to have you here on a Monday. It's not Thursday yet, but that was quite a tribute to you. And you really didn't start out in football, right? It's high school track. Tell us about how your track career started.
Well, I started track, to get faster for football. One of my football teammates convinced me that it would improve my football career, so decided to go out for the track team and got placed in the hurdles somehow and actually did better than they expected me to do and kind of just became my event from then on out.
And that was kind of your ticket to California, wasn't it? Really on the track team rather than the football team.
Yeah, that year I ended up making it to the state meet and pretty much introduced myself to everyone with a clipboard in their hand. came across Cal and walked onto the track team from there.
Then you had an unusual way to get to the football program. You're running track, but they don't even know about you. How did you get noticed by football?
So I just, I talked to my parents, and we crafted up some emails and just kept sending them over and over again. Eventually, I had to go to the stadium and wait there, waited outside, and brought my highlight tape with me. It was an all offensive highlight tape, but I don't think anyone watched it. But we did. We had a poor performance against Washington State at the time that I had come up there, so they gave me a jersey and said, "Here, go play defense." So that's what I did.
Really? Well, what was your first practice like?
First practice, I didn't do much. Everyone else was in shoulder pads, and I was in just a helmet because you need that acclimation period. But I just remember taking everything way too serious. At least that's how everyone else thought about it, and just trying to be the best at, whether it was a 5-yard sprint or, knee huggers or something something easy. I just was trying to be the best at it.
And how long did it take before a coach said, "You know what, I think you can help our team"?
Well, shortly after, a year and a half after that, the coaching staff left, and I was blessed with a new coaching staff. My current position coach, Gerald Alexander, and Coach Wilcox, who came in and just kind of changed my life from there. I got a clean start and just tried to outperform everyone in front of me.
And when did Coach Alexander say, "I think you can be a starter for us"?
After I believe first fall camp, I switched from corner to safety, and so I was a little bit behind. But once I picked it up, he was willing to work with me. Meet me in the offices at 5:30 in the morning every day, and until I got the hang of it, and eventually worked my way onto the field.
Amazing. And also as a kick returner, what's it like for those of us who have never done that? You're back there all by yourself, and you see that kickoff coming. What's it like to catch it and then to return it?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, I came in to play offense initially, and so I just looked at it as an opportunity to get the ball in my hands again, and it's a lot of fun.
It's amazing to think that someday you're on the first round of the draft. You might be drafted. When your football career is over, though, what do you want to do?
I've looked into firefighting. I think that's where I want to go afterward, but hopefully got a little bit of ball to play first.
First round, are they telling you that?
That's what I'm hoping for, but I'll take whatever I can get.
So you're watching a lot of NFL football. Do you say, "This is the team I'd like to play for"?
Doesn't matter to me.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ashton. Okay.
Stacey didn't. Gotcha. I was supposed to remind you.
Rodrigo Blankenship's trademark black rim glasses made him a natural for the Burlsworth Trophy. He also shares Brandon's do-right approach to life.
He's one of the first players I've ever been around that when you ask a special teams question about a kick returner, about a guy in coverage, Rod can answer it, and he does. He's a joy to have on our team. He's a tremendous story.
Rodrigo walked on at Georgia after a brilliant high school career. He earned the starting job as a redshirt freshman. His numbers, incredible. 14 of 18 on field goals, 26 for 26 on extra points. Numbers good enough to earn a scholarship, right?
He didn't get awarded a scholarship. Sorry about that, Rod. But it never stopped Rod. He just overcame the hurdle and got placed on scholarship in 2017 before the Notre Dame game. Did an unreal job in that game, won the game for us with a couple field goals, and never looked back.
His numbers in 2017, 20 of 23 in field goals. He made all 65 his extra point attempts and had touchbacks on 82 of 97 kickoffs. As a junior, he ranked 10th nationally in points scored, didn't miss a point after, and hit 83% of his field goal attempts. And this season, more incredible numbers. 24 of 28 field goals, 57 touchbacks, and Rodrigo will leave Athens as the Dogs' all-time leading scorer.
Having a guy like him on your team is it's a blessing, because guys like this don't come around often. Many people take him for granted because of what he could do, because he's so consistent. Every time he line up, he's gonna kick a touchback or he's gonna make a field goal, man. And beyond football, he's just a great guy.
Kirby Smart had the ultimate praise for his senior kicker.
Probably one of the all-around best people I've ever met.
And did I mention that Rodrigo is also a rapper?
There ain't no promise of tomorrow, so we'll give it all we got today. We know this is more than just a game, so we ATD attack the day.
Yeah, I do this for my team. Free me when we chase our dreams.
Please welcome one of the most popular players in Georgia football history, Burlsworth Trophy finalist, Hot Rod, Georgia kicker Rodrigo Blankenship.
I'm not going to ask you to do any rap. That was interesting. You look kind of embarrassed at that, huh?
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's a one-hit wonder. That's it. I think the music career is done.
It's not unusual for kickers not to get scholarship offers. What went into your thinking as far as going to the University of Georgia?
Education. You want to go to college to get an education because football's not going to last forever. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can play in the league for 20, 25 years, and you retire and you're 47 years old and you have the rest of your life ahead of you. So you want to go to college and get an education so that you can set yourself up for the rest of your life. And so education always was the first priority for me. University of Georgia is one of the best journalism programs in the country, and I want to get into sports journalism and sports broadcast one day when football's over. So that was always at the forefront of my mind. And, you know, I was getting recruited very heavily by the previous coaching staff that was here. I fell in love with the school and fell in love with everything about Athens and everything that it entails. And so at the end of the day, the decision was clear for me.
Okay, so you want to get into sports broadcasting?
Absolutely.
You want to give us an example?
Oh.
Let's hear you describe a Georgia touchdown like you're doing what Chuck Barrett does for Arkansas.
Oh. All right, let me see. I'm thinking back to the Florida game. We just crossed the 50-yard line. Demetrius Robertson. I know Ashton knows who that is. Demetrius Robertson goes in motion across the formation to Fromm's right. Shotgun snap. Play action to James Cook. Fromm drops back, looking for an option, looking for someone open. There goes Lawrence Cager, wide open in the middle of the field. No one's covering, not a soul in sight for 20 yards. He catches it. 15, 10, 5, touchdown Dogs.
How about that?
Caught me off guard there.
I think he's got a career ahead of him, doesn't he? That's very, very good. You're very good at academics. I know that. These people are not going to believe your schedule over the next 3 days. Can you kind of go through where you're going to go from here and there to there to there?
Sure. So yesterday, I wasn't able to be here for some of the stuff that we had going on yesterday because we had our annual senior awards gala, our awards banquet. But this morning, I hopped on a plane with our sports information director, Leland, and we flew out here as soon as we could to be a part of this event, this amazing event that you guys have put on today. After this event is over, Leland and I are going to hop back on a plane, and we're going to go to Florida for the Lou Groza Awards dinner that they're putting on tonight. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting up and flying to New York for the Campbell Award presentation tomorrow night. Wednesday morning, we're flying back to Atlanta, and we're going to be going to the Home Depot Awards, like a kickoff dinner, Wednesday night. And then Thursday night is the Home Depot Awards, where they'll announce the winner of the Lou Groza Award. So pretty busy week.
And it's also finals week, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Our finals started last Friday. I had one final that I was able to exempt based on some of my previous test scores and previous assignments that I had done in the class. So that one's over with, thank goodness. But two of my other classes, we've got final projects that are due this week that I'm going to be doing in the hotel rooms the next few days.
Amazing schedule. Okay, so before I let you go, I have to ask you about at Georgia. It's a big deal when you run out on the field and you run through this big banner that has a G on it. You got to do that. You want to describe that?
Oh, yes. It was, I see the picture there. That was a really special moment for me. Brian Herring, who's one of our running backs that's been here for the last 4 years, he's usually the one that breaks the banner first during home games, and he's always a really high-energy guy and is always kind of one to get the team juiced up and get the fans juiced up, and so he always goes out first. And so the day before this Texas A&M game, which was our senior night, I asked him, I said, Brian, would you be okay if I busted through the banner first, because it was my last game in Sanford, and he said, absolutely, Rod, you know, I'll clear the way for you. I'll keep everybody out of the way so you can go first. And so that was a really special moment for me, just getting to be in the front of the line, go through the smoke first, and then bust out the banner in front of our fans for my last home game in Sanford. So that was a very special moment for me.
And then we have another picture that goes with that.
Oh, yeah, even better.
How about that? Flying through the air. Talented young man. Rodriguez, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
lights go down. Okay, now you can go.
Kenny Willekes turned down 2 Division II offers to walk on at Michigan State. From day one on the Ann Arbor campus, Willekes was
relentless. He's a relentless player.
He spent his first year on the scout team where he was named Scout Team Player of the Week 6 times.
He played linebacker, played some fullback, played some defensive end and as a scout teamer, played all over the place. And then, 2 years later, he finally gets to play in 2017 and he starts making his move.
He earned a scholarship with 8 tackles in the 2017 spring game. That season, Kenny had 7 sacks and a team-high 14.5 tackles for a loss. Last season, he was a monster. A Big Ten best 20.5 tackles for loss and 8.5 sacks. Kenny Willekes was named Big Ten Defensive Lineman of the Year and earned All-American status. This season, Kenny Willekes, 69 tackles, including 14.5 for loss and 8.5 sacks. He's the first Spartan defensive player to be named team MVP twice.
He's a giver. He's enthusiastic. He promotes toughness. He promotes effort. He promotes knowing what to do, which are the 3 components that we constantly are asking our players and talking about, and he promotes that. And he's like a coach on the field, and when he's dinged up and he's banged up a little bit, he's coaching. He always wants to aspire to be better or to do well in another area. So he's been impressive, relentless.
It's a remarkable story, from a 0-star walk-on to one of the most productive players in the country.
3-4 years ago, I'd probably laugh at you and say no way, just because Kenny wasn't in the right position.
A great example for all of us of how hard work and relentlessness in both your on-field play and your preparation can pay off.
When you look at him and what he's been able to do as the defensive lineman of the year, we've got some other guys like Jack Conklin come here as a true walk-on and becomes a first-round pick and an all-pro player. So while you can say that's extremely unusual, it's happened here before. Hard work, toughness, athletic ability, quick twitch. He's got those type of things. He's an explosive player. What you see when you watch him, you've got a guy with a motor that's also explosive, and that's what makes him such a tremendous impact player for us.
And Kenny Willekes has skills away from football. Please welcome Burlsworth Trophy finalist, Michigan State defensive end, Kenny Willekes.
Kenny, I think the first thing you'd like to do is set the record straight where Michigan State is.
Yeah, we're in East Lansing, not Ann Arbor.
Okay, there you go. That'd be a big deal in Michigan, no doubt. So you grew up enjoying sports, but it was your 10th grade where you started playing high school football. Tell us about growing up with your grandfather and your kids playing football in the yard.
Well, they weren't my kids. They were my siblings.
Brothers. Right, okay, your brothers, right.
Yeah, I grew up with 7 siblings. There's 8 of us total, 4 boys, 4 girls, and we were homeschooled for a portion of our childhood, portion of our elementary school. So, we spent a lot of time out in the backyard. My grandfather, who's here today, I'm actually named after him, Kenneth Nelson. He kind of taught me football, and we would just go out in the backyard, me and my brothers and him, he'd throw us around the football. So that's where I really learned to first fall in love with the game.
So you fell in love with the game. You're playing high school football. You want to play college football. How did you make your decision to go to Michigan State?
For me, it was a pretty easy one. Once I got the opportunity, once Coach D'Antonio gave me the opportunity, I always wanted to go big time, play big time college football. It's always been a dream of mine growing up. I used to go to my neighbor's house and watch Michigan State. I grew up watching Michigan State down the road, and it's always been a dream of mine. So once I got that opportunity, I jumped on it immediately. Coach D told me I was going to have the opportunity to come in with the rest of the freshmen at the beginning of the summer, and I knew I was going to do whatever it took to earn my spot on the team.
You came in as a linebacker, right? And they tried you at a lot of different positions. How did all that go?
Yeah, that was kind of fun. So I came in as a linebacker, but I wasn't very good. I tripped over myself a lot, crossed over my feet a lot. So they moved me around. I played fullback, tight end, defensive tackle, until eventually, I think, my redshirt sophomore year, I was able to find a home at defensive end.
And you stayed there for the rest of the time and all of a sudden became this great lineman. Did the career turn out to be even better than you thought it would be?
You always have dreams when you come in, expectations, and I had high expectations for myself. I set a standard for myself. I wanted to be great. I wanted to be an All-American, but those are just dreams of a kid. You never know what's actually going to happen. You never know what's actually going to come to fruition. So to be able to be in this position that I am today, I'm forever thankful, and I forever owe Coach D for the opportunity for that.
You're also in a leadership group at Michigan State, and you all did a lot of great things off the field.
Yeah, we vote 12 leaders every year. It's called the Eagle Council, something Coach D'Antonio started. We're kind of 12 leaders on the team, and throughout that and throughout some of the friends of mine, we try to do things throughout in the community, whether it be going to the hospital. Here we are, me and another captain, Joe Bocci, we're at the JDRF walk, so we go there once a year and sign autographs for the kids and hang out with some of the kids there with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. And then I think another picture's coming up from when we all shaved our heads. We raised money for cancer awareness, a girl on the field hockey team, so she did this every year. And we decided to join her this past year. We all shaved our heads and see who could raise the most money.
Very nice. Okay, so you're looking at possibly pro football, but you have other interests as well. You're a chemistry major, and you're interested in the FBI. Why is that?
Just the ability to, help people. And then I'm a chemistry major. My dad is actually a surgeon, so I've always been interested in science and that type of thing. And I want to go the route of forensic science and hopefully one day be in the FBI.
That's amazing. This guy grew up without a television, so you didn't get to watch all those detective shows, did you?
No, I did not grow up with a television. I didn't watch any detective shows. I didn't watch any football. I pretty much just spent most of my time outside playing with my siblings. That's about it.
Very good. All right, Kenny. Well, we're glad you're here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Folks, let's hear it again for our 3 finalists for the Burlsworth Trophy. Gentlemen, congratulations to all of you. Well, the moment's arrived. It is time to announce the winner of the Burlsworth Trophy, and for that, I'd like to bring Marty back up to the podium, please. Marty Burlsworth.
Thank you, Rick. Great job, guys, there, getting to know you better. I think we can all agree we really need 3 trophies today, right? Amen? Yeah. But we have one, and I have an envelope. And the winner of the 2019 Burlsworth Trophy from Michigan State, Kenny Willikus.
I'm humbled and honored to stand before you today to accept this award. First off, I'd like to thank God, for without him, none of this would be possible. None of the skills and talents I would have, none of that would be possible. I'd also like to start off by thanking Marty for this opportunity, thanking Vicky, the whole Burlsworth family for making us feel welcome, and it really has been truly hospitality this week. And I'd also like to say thank you to the Rotary Club for making this all happen. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. Continuing on, first off, I'd like to talk about Brandon. Brandon set the bar of what a walk-on should truly be. He was a special person. Being able to watch that movie last night truly opened my eyes to see what a special person he is. Not only was he a great football player on the field, but he was truly a great football player off the field. He truly impacted everyone else around him, and that is much bigger than the game of football. So to be able to carry on his legacy, I'm extremely thankful and grateful for that. I would like to recognize the 2 other finalists here with me, Ashton Davis and Rodrigo Blankenship. It's been a privilege to get to know these 2. I know, just like me, they put in the hours, they put in the work, and they both had incredible careers. So to be joined here by you 2 is an honor as well. Like I said, I grew up in a large family, 4 boys, 4 girls, and my parents, from beginning early age, instilled into me the faith, hard work, and putting others before myself. My dad, like I said before, is a cardiothoracic surgeon, so he would spend hours at the hospital, whether he's flying out and harvesting lungs, harvesting hearts, and then he would come home and take care of me, take care of my 7 siblings, and he always made sure to put us first, no matter how hard he was working. So I learned hard work from him. And then selflessness, I learned from my mother. She gave up everything, all her dreams, everything she wanted to do in her life. She gave that up to stay at home and take care of 8 kids and raise 8 kids. So the one thing she always taught me is To much is given, much is expected. And that's something she always taught me on, to put others first, and I'm thankful for that. Coming out of high school, I had 0 Division I offers, like these men up here. Never talked to a high school Division I coach. So for Coach D'Antonio to give me this opportunity, for him to give me a scholarship, spring of 2017, he gave me the scholarship in front of the team, and that's something I'll never forget. You know, my teammates cheering for me and Coach D'Antonio giving me that opportunity. Just speaking to what type of man he is, Coach D'Antonio took me into his office multiple times, freshman, sophomore year. Most head coaches don't even know who the walk-on is, but he would take me into his office and, you know, sit me down and talk to me about life and what it truly means to be a man. So for that, I'm forever grateful to him. Throughout this journey, I've learned many life lessons. You know, many things, many people have impacted me. My grandparents, my beautiful grandparents are here today. I have plenty of family back home, coaches, plenty of people watching back home, so I'm thankful to them for watching. But the biggest thing I learned is to persevere through the hard times. You know, life's not always going to go the way you want it to. There's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be a roller coaster. But the most important thing is if you're able to bring a work ethic and bring a positive attitude each and every day, those are the 2 things that you can control. You will not only be great and accomplish many great things, but you will also impact the people around you, and that is the most important thing. So to me, being a walk-on is much more than football. It's about being a man in your daily life, whether you're a husband, a coach, a wife, a daughter. It's going the extra mile above and beyond in everything you do in life. And so I think being a walk-on is a mentality. I feel like being a walk-on is a very special person. I'm surrounded by special people in this room. So thank you. I'm forever grateful, and it's an honor.
Thank you, Kenny. Congratulations. That's going to be a heavy trophy to get on that plane to take back home. Well, we've reached the conclusion of our 10th presentation of the Burlsworth Trophy. All of you are a part of what makes all this special. As Marty mentioned a few moments ago, many of you have been here since the very first trophy presentation, so thank you for that. I know we've got a lot of media who are here, and they've been covering it today. We appreciate that. They will be doing interviews right down in front of us. When this is done, those of you who are in attendance are welcome to come down and watch, greet the finalists, greet the winner, and thank you for being here. It's been a wonderful day. Please be careful as you travel. We'll see you next year. Thank you.